Alright, first off, my hair looks like shit because I just woke up and I just saw people talking about this, so I figured I'd fire up a quick video and give my opinions on this. So just ignore that, alright? Chill. Alright, it's Sunday. Anyway, Joe Rogan has been no stranger to controversy. I mean, most of the time that he gets into trouble, it's usually due to a guest that he has onto his program. A lot of people criticize Joe Rogan for simply just being like a malleable host, and what I mean by that is like people criticize Joe for sort of like bending his opinions and his worldview based on who's on his program at the time. Like he's like moldable like clay. That's what a lot of people I see criticize him, at least. But that's not to say that he's also not, beloved as like the king of podcasting. You know, he has a giant show, probably like the biggest, I guess, talk show. If I'm thinking probably, the biggest. I mean, I can't really think of one really bigger than him. And then of course he made waves earlier this year when he announced that he was going to Spotify exclusively. So Joe's kind of, he's always breaking the headlines or whatever, but today, it seems like, although I'm gonna disagree with what he had to say in this clip that we're about to watch, it seems like this is a little bit strange, the outrage is a bit strange, you know what I mean? Like, he's talking about something that, it's stupid, but like, is this enough to get him trending? I don't know, man. Let's just take a look at the clip in question, and then I'll give my thoughts on it later. I'm gonna move my camera up here. This tweet is from Dexterdo. It says, video games are a real problem. You know why? Because they're fucking fun. You do them, and they're real exciting, but you don't get anywhere. That's a quote from Joe Rogan. Let's take a look.
And video games are a real problem. They're a real problem. You know why? Because they're fucking fun.
Addictive.
And you don't, I have a real problem with them.
How many people actually have this, like, problem where they're just, like, so addicted to a video game that it just destroys their, productivity? Like, everybody, slacks off or gets lazy, they have work or school to do and they play games instead. Like, everybody does that. But I'm talking about, like, actual, like, like having an addictive nature to a game to the point where you just, like, completely ignore, like, feeding yourself or, taking care of, like, your pet or, so, like, to the point where it's, like, to that degree of extremity. I've never really seen that happen to anyone I know before in real life, at least. I don't know.
And you do them, and they're real exciting, but you don't get anywhere.
Right.
It's like you could do like martial arts, right? You could learn jiu-jitsu. You get obsessed by jiu-jitsu, and then 3 years later, you're like an elite jiu-jitsu athlete. You're entering in competitions. You're a purple belt.
You're moving up.
Yeah, you're doing well. Right. You're thinking like, I might be able to open my own school one day.
You got confidence.
Yeah, if I have 100 students and those 100 students are paying me X amount of dollars per month, I can make a living. Holy shit, I can have this would be amazing. And then you see your jiu-jitsu school, and your jiu-jitsu instructor has all these students and drives a Mercedes, and he's got a nice family, and like, that's the future. This way, you're doing something exciting and fun, and you don't. Or you could just be playing fucking video games. 3 years later, you could be that same kid just playing video games, waiting for the next whatever the fuck game is, next Xbox game to come out, and you're gonna waste your time.
Yeah, but Joe, like, you could get into jiu-jitsu and do, like, none of that. Like, not everybody who gets into that, martial arts or whatever, they're not, building their own schools or, becoming, like, that next level. I mean, it's possible, but at the same time, with video games, it's also possible to reach an elite status with gaming as well. It's especially easy nowadays. People are talking a lot about esports right now, but I think people are just forgetting that regular people who suck ass at video games can still make it a living somehow, too, thanks to live streaming and Twitch and, Mixer, although it's gone now, but, Mixer was giving out, deals to all these people, and now YouTube's doing a lot of that. Even Facebook's jumping into it. It's so easy to make a career in video gaming. I mean, hell, somebody like me, right? Like, obviously, like, my channel's not really about video games. I don't really talk about that. But, every now and again, I'll fire up a live stream, play some video games and stuff, and people will donate, like, obviously I'm not, at a point where I could make a career just doing game streaming, but already at the very basic level, as somebody who has not even worked towards a career in gaming, I can still make money playing video games. It's that easy. This is the world we're in, like, getting into esports is, like, very hard. I genuinely think you have to be, like, naturally talented to get into that sort of industry. But, if you have, like, a funny personality, you're good at jokes, you tell stories or whatever, you have an engaging, interactive stream, you get good at playing the games and reading the chat at the same time, I mean, that's all it takes to become a good Twitch streamer. You know, you got connections, you got friends that can help you along the way. I mean, you're set, you're good to go. I'm not saying that it's like easy or that it's, you know, guaranteed if you have all these attributes that you're going to do well, but you know, we're in a world now where like you do not have to be the elite. You do not have to be the best of the best to succeed in this type of industry. Matter of fact, like, I mean, I don't know that, obviously look at me. I mean, I'm not like, you know, a martial arts like expert or whatever, but I would almost like, I wouldn't be surprised if it were actually like easier to build a Twitch stream than it was to like build like, you know, like a school for martial arts. I mean, getting the training required, you know, getting the degrees, you know, the belts or whatever, to the point where you're even allowed to educate other people on martial arts or whatever. Like, I almost like just saying that out loud, it sounds like that's more difficult than if you were to like open up a Twitch stream and, you know, spend 3 years on that and see where you are in 3 years, you know. Again, I don't know the next thing about martial arts. I mean, obviously look at me, but, you know, I just feel like this statement here is just kind of, you know, misguided or whatever. I mean, 99% of the things we do for recreation, if you really think about it, is a waste of time. Watching the Joe Rogan podcast is a waste of time. If you really think about it, I mean, you're just sitting on your ass listening to other men speak. I mean, yeah, it's entertaining, but what are you doing in that time? I mean, I guess you could listen to it while doing something else productively, but like, you know, it just feels like a backward statement for Joe Rogan. Like, these guys are doing entertainment. Video games themselves are entertainment, and they're being all elitist about it. They're like, yeah, video games, complete waste of time. Why would you waste your time playing video games? And then they want you to listen to their 3-hour podcast every week, which is just, you know, I don't know. It's just kind of funny when you think about it like that. But anyway, going back to a point I made, you know, originally before we watched this clip, you know, obviously I disagree with what Joe Rogan is saying in this clip. I mean, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. It kind of comes off as a bit elitist of him to say these things. But like, you think about it, right? And there's another conversation that can be had here, and that is gamer fragility. All right? Don't get mad at me just yet. Chill out. But there is a conversation to be had, right? Because when I look at this clip and I disagree with what Joe is saying, I'm not like grabbing the pitchforks like, whoa, this is crazy. What are you on about, Joe? Like, I'm not like mad. I'm just like, yeah, I disagree. I think it's kind of silly or whatever. That's basically the extent of my emotions in this. But what I see on Twitter is a lot of people who are like genuinely like, oh my God, fuck off, Joe. This is, you've gone too far. And it's just like, okay, well, calm down. You know, all he said was that video games are a bit of a waste of time, which if you really think about it, he's not wrong in and of itself. Like, that statement alone, not really an incorrect statement. I mean, I think we can all acknowledge as gamers here, you know, we're not really like doing anything majorly productive. I mean, that's kind of the point, it's for recreation. But I see a lot of people who are like, you know, personally offended that Joe thinks this thing about video games. Like, people are like, oh my God, Joe sucks. This is, what a terrible opinion to have. And it's just like, yeah, it's a goofy opinion, but like, it goes trending on Twitter immediately. Everybody's like losing their shit over Joe's opinion on video games. Like, is it really that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things? Like, there's different levels of nuance you can have with these things, right? Like, just because somebody says something you disagree with, it doesn't mean like it's the end of the world or like this is like a major problem that needs to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like people are getting a little bit too, you know, overly invested into this, you know, because I see people on Twitter, they're just like losing it. They're like, oh my God, fuck you, Joe. It's like, okay, well, you know, maybe, you know, the opinion that video games are a waste of time is a bit silly, but I think there could be a legit conversation that's had over the fragility of some gamers. I mean, you talk like just a little bit of shit about video games, and all of a sudden, like, you're trending on Twitter. I mean, that's just kind of silly to me in and of itself. Like, there's two things going on here. I mean, Joe's got a goofy opinion, but I think a lot of the people that are getting like really invested in this are also like just taking it way too seriously. I don't know. That's just my takes on all of this. Shout out to my patrons over at patreon.com/allyearofc. You guys are doing a great job supporting me over at RFC Premium. It's not required, but I do post bonus content up there. And there is a lot of stuff going on right now, especially today. I woke up, there's been a lot of news going on, so I might shoot some extra videos over on Patreon, just kind of give my thoughts on things I wouldn't normally talk about on YouTube. Also, I might be live later today on YouTube, so make sure you're subbed with the notifications turned on. But yeah, that's gonna about do it for me for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. My name's RUFC. I will catch you guys tomorrow, everyone. Peace out. Oh shit, wait a minute. Before I get out of here, I didn't even have my music ready. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Let me grab my favorite song. The song that you guys love. Video outro. There we go. Alright, I will talk to you guys later, everyone. Peace out, everyone.